All right, we're back with a random Thursday deal again, and this time we're doing the Rocketeer, as you can see from
Rocket.
my layout. So I want to ask you this question for the Rocketeer. This is considered a superhero movie.
Everybody's considered as calling it a superhero movie.
I consider this a superhero movie too, because he conceals his identity when he.
Yeah, in a way. I call
Yeah.
it a pulp. I think it's more like a pulp novel hero. But it is a
Oh,
comic book. It's based on a comic book. It
yeah,
was
based
based
on a
on
comic
a
book.
graphic novel. So yeah, I guess I mean superhero. I think they claim it. People call it Disney's second superhero type movie.
What was the first?
I don't know. I just saw Reddit. I don't know what the first one was.
Oh,
I
interesting.
can't think of another superhero movie that Disney made before this because this is 1991, right?
1989. Yeah, I was still. I remember the trailer because I saw that in New York, and I knew I wanted to see it when I saw the
But you, this
trailer.
but this is the first time you've seen it,
This is the
right?
first time I seen it
Mm.
after 30 years.
But you liked it, right?
Oh, I liked it. I like that. I like. It remind me of the 90s because every scene carries it to the others. Like it would take you to the next step where you need to go.
Okay,
I
yeah.
loved it a lot. No, I like it a
I
lot.
mean, yeah, I'm still a huge fan of it.
But
I
like,
mean,
if I would have watched it when I was 91, right? So if I watched it when I was 10 or 11, I would love it even more. So now that I'm watching as an adult, right, I still liked it, but the science thing bothers me a little bit. So every time he fired a jetpack, right,
yeah.
how is it said that his ass is not on fire or hot?
Well, let me put it. Well, let me explain it to this.
Okay,
A lot of people ask this question. I don't really. I mean, it makes sense in a way, but think about it. There's not special effects. There's not. They're not drawing this fire on that boosters.
okay.
There's fire actually coming out of that jetpack,
Whoa.
and nobody catches on fire.
There's
So,
actual fire every time
so
they shoot
apparently
that.
it works, right?
Whew.
Think about it. That jetpack, you see fire coming out, right?
Yeah.
They didn't draw it on there because they didn't did that. They didn't do that kind of stuff yet.
No, they actually shoot the
So there's
thing.
fire coming out of there, and it's not catching the guy's feet. There's actually shields coming off the back of that jetpack.
Wow, I didn't think about that. Holy crap.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Nothing that they always show that fire coming out. There's fire coming out because they're not painting it on there. They're not
No,
drawing it on
yeah.
there,
Not in the
and
90s.
nobody's catching on fire. So apparently that jetpack wouldn't catch you on fire.
Huh.
Seems like it would.
It seems like it would, right?
But you got to remember the scenes where, like, okay, he's going in. One of the scenes he's going over tables and they're catching on fire. It's because they put something in the tables to make the fires shoot up.
Yeah, it makes sense. Just not him. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, like I said, there's fire coming out of the jetpack and it's not catching the back of our legs on fire. Plus, there is actually two blast shields coming down under the
Yeah,
boosters
blocking. Yeah,
that close up and lower down.
I
But
like
yeah,
the setup of the movie. In the beginning they always show him that he's a pilot. He does this for a living. Like most of the movies they're struggling with money. They destroyed the only thing that was making money come in, the airplane.
yeah.
I also like. So in the beginning there's this chase scene, right? In that time, how fast were the cars driving? Is it 30, 40 miles an hour?
No, back then those cars actually go pretty fast.
Oh, they
They're
were.
probably going in the. They can go. They can go probably. I don't think cars normally went up to 100, but they had cars that can go up to 100 miles an
Oh, at
hour.
that time, okay.
Yeah, they had cars that go past 100 miles an hour at that time.
Whoa.
Yeah, Ford wasn't, and those were Fords, and Fords were very fast then.
Oh, okay.
I mean, a lot of those cars, and most of those cars actually got good gas mileage. There's not a lot of car there. I mean, I mean, you think it's old and stuff, but I mean, a lot of Model A's and stuff, they actually ran pretty fast. 55 wasn't really a big deal for them to go.
Oh, okay. I did because
I
I
mean,
didn't
I
know.
think it took a little longer to get to higher speeds. It took longer to get higher speeds. I mean, they're not going to do what our cars do now, but they would reach the high speeds that most cars reach. They
Okay.
just wouldn't reach it at.
So I don't have a problem with that because I didn't know how fast they can go, and I did
Yeah,
like the
they
gum
can
in
go
the
pretty
back.
fast. Yeah, they got with the machine gunner in the back.
Yeah.
But the neat thing about this movie, though, this is a Joe Johnston movie,
Yes, Joe Johnston,
which
director of Captain
Joe
America,
Johnston directed. Yeah, Captain America. And that's
the
mainly
first
why we're going
Avenger.
to go back to see this. But he's
Yes.
directed a lot of stuff, mainly anything in the 1930s, 40s. He's
Was
really
it?
good at it.
This is post World War II, right? This
Yeah,
timeline. Yeah.
this is what 3 years before World War II.
Is it three
World
years?
War II, well, you got to think during this movie, World War II is going on, but the United States
Oh,
hasn't
that's
entered
right.
World War II.
You haven't. No. Oh, yeah.
This is October 1938.
1938. Oh, okay.
World War II will not start for the United States until
40,
December of 1941.
41, December 41. Yeah.
Yeah, we attacked the 7th of December, and then we declare war the 8th of December on Germany and Japan,
Yep.
and we enter the war.
Okay.
So yeah, up to this time, countries like France, Britain are being bombed. I mean, in the United States, I don't even know if Britain's even been attacked yet by this time, but they are taking over countries.
Yeah, they are taking over countries.
And of course, we get to see the Zeppelin. We know there's a Zeppelin in this movie.
Yeah.
Which is important because I mean, this was a real life event in a way. I mean, that's not the same Zeppelin, but the Hindenburg flew around the world and picked up travelers. I mean, the Germans always use Zeppelins. They're the best up until this time. Best form of transportation.
Oh, okay.
Because one of the pioneers of long distance transportation is Howard Hughes, which shows up in this movie too.
Yeah, I know. Which Howard Hughes shows up played by Terry something. Terry, I can't remember his name now.
Well, he was in Lost.
Yeah, he's in Lost. I know. Have you seen Lost?
Yeah. I wasn't really a fan of Lost.
Oh, okay.
I watched some of it, and it started off okay, and then I don't know, I lost interest in it. I'm not a real big J.J. Abrams type fan.
I know you're not.
I mean, he's a good director. I don't like his storytelling that much. I mean, and you can't go, oh, because he made Star Trek. No, I like the Star Treks he did. I don't think he did as good as it could have been. But I mean, he gave a lot to Star Trek.
Yes.
The way
he did his best. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. He added a lot of. It was beautiful. The cinematography for that was beautiful. But in this movie, I love this movie because I mean, it reminds me of when I was a kid. I always wanted a rocket pack.
I know.
I mean, the jetpack, I was obsessed with jetpack. I even thought I was going to build me a jetpack.
Ever since Boba Fett. That was before even I came to this country.
Yeah, because Boba Fett.
Episode 6. Like,
I don't know if Boba Fett's what made me want a rocket pack. And I don't know if it's Boba Fett's what made me want a rocket pack. Because, it's always in popular science fiction, a rocket pack was the thing.
It's the idea that you can fly.
Yeah. And I mean, rocket packs was invented way back in the 50s. The Bell jetpacks. Because it showed up in Lost in Space. There's a movie called Ruskies, where this guy's called Super Slammer or something. He fights the Russians. He's got a jetpack. Everybody's got a jetpack. There's been a lot of jetpacks.
So I want to ask you this, right? Because, after watching Iron Man with the thrusters in the hand and legs and whatever, you can fly. But like this, so when I watch it, like, okay, it's only on his backpack. How does he control where he want to go? Like, I thought it would assume, like fly all over the place.
Okay. Well, in real life, you would probably go all over the place. You can't fly it. But in the movie, remember his helmet has a fin on it.
Yes.
The fin, when he turns his head, it helps turn his direction. Because remember, because PV's talking to Howard Hughes. Remember, that's a scene where he's talking to Howard Hughes, and Howard Hughes goes, "That fin, that's genius." And of course, PV's like, "Well, Howard, it's just basic aviation."
Yeah,
so it's like, what?
Well, a lot in the movie, though, yeah.
I'm like, this Howard Hughes you're talking to, the fastest man on Earth.
I almost didn't recognize Jennifer Connelly.
Oh, really?
Because like
this is the first time I ever saw Jennifer Connelly.
She was a little bit chubbier in the face, like that. I'm used to her now.
She's so young.
Yeah, she's so young. That's the thing. Like she was so young, I barely recognized her. It's kind of like watching Tom Cruise in what's that famous movie? Risky Business.
Yeah. Well, this will be the first time I ever saw Jennifer Connelly.
Yes.
And from then on, I watch all her movies. Well, I can't say I watch everything. I watch her if she's in it. I'll watch it because she's a good actress.
Yeah.
Well, she's gorgeous, but she is a good actress. I mean,
also
she's
been
been in
off.
so many good movies.
No, she is. She's a good actress, and she's 007's in this movie.
Oh yes. Well, that's Timothy Dalton's in this movie, which is cool. I love James Bond. I'm gonna say he probably wasn't the best James Bond, where his movies weren't the most popular.
2 007s, right? Is it 2 or
No,
3?
I thought he did 3.
Okay, yeah, he did a less number.
Yeah, I think he did 3 of them. He either did 2 or 3. I really think he did 3. But he plays the Master in Doctor Who too.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he even shows up. Well, because he's a big giant movie star, but he still has time to do these other movies, He doesn't go, oh, I'm too good for this.
Every time I only seen Timothy Dalton, obviously in 007, in this one and in Hot Fuzz.
Oh, I never saw Hot Fuzz.
Oh, Hot Fuzz is great. He's in it too, but like it's every time he has that little mustache, right? He looks like a villain.
He's got that Errol Flynn mustache.
Yeah, like he
Because
just
this is
looked
the
like a
type of
bad
character he
guy.
plays in this movie. It's like an Errol Flynn
It
type
is.
character. But yeah, he's good. And plus, the music's by James Horner.
Yes, James, I know it's great. So what I read about this movie, right? Like, I watched this Australian guy on YouTube. I love his accent, right? And he's trying to be funny. It's kind of cheesy. He does these things like top 10 things you didn't know.
Yes,
He does
I
his.
saw this too. I
So
saw this.
I love that guy. He does his great research and he put the videos really nice together. And I
Yeah.
found out that like, dude, the budget for this was 35 million. They only made like 40, and I was really
I know.
disappointed.
Which is funny because everybody, well, there's a lot of people that haven't seen the movie, but everybody that I have talked to that's seen the movie loves the movie.
Oh, I loved it.
I mean, there is a lot, plus there's a lot of cosplayers out there for
The Rocketeer.
Rocketeer, even though the jetpack costs you about $2,000 if you
Oh my
want.
gosh.
The helmet is over $200.
Really?
Yeah, because I was going to buy one, and I was like, I could buy other stuff.
Yes, I can.
But yeah, but it's James Horner, which he actually does the soundtrack for Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Oh.
He does a lot of good ones. He did Titanic, but to me that was the best soundtrack because his soundtrack's pretty much you can listen to the soundtrack and it's like you're watching the movie in your head.
Yes. Oh, I know.
Because the sound effects, like on Star Trek, most of the sound effects that you think are sound effects in the movie were actually the music in his soundtrack.
Oh.
Which is weird. Yeah, because
That's
you're
weird.
watching the movie, you'll make a sound, you'll think, oh, that's sound effects. But when you play the soundtrack, it makes the same deal. Because normally sound effects aren't part of the soundtrack,
Oh, okay.
which makes it interesting to me because almost you can time the movie by his soundtrack.
I know what you're talking about. Like one of the movies that does that for me, where the soundtrack carries the movie when I'm just listening to it, is Fight Club.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fight Club is a good one too.
And Snatch does that for me too.
Yeah, you gave me Snatch. I think I don't. I got to get it again.
Yeah.
I don't have it anymore.
Yep. So what else
Yeah,
I like?
And I like soundtracks like that. I like to be able to know what's going on. You know what I mean? Kind of plays out the movie.
Yep, it does.
So, yeah, this was good. I mean, but the star wasn't really all that famous.
No, it's not Billy somebody, right?
Well, yeah, he didn't. I mean, he was a good actor. I thought he was excellent for this
Billy
movie.
Campbell.
Yeah, Billy Campbell. Oh yeah, I used to say he was Bruce Campbell's brother, but he's not.
No, he's not. I thought the same thing when I saw his name.
But the only other movie I ever saw him in was Dracula. Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula. Do you see that?
Let me see. I'm looking into his career.
Okay, well he played
he
who
was.
did he play? He played like the Texas guy in it.
Quincy Morris. Huh.
Yeah, he played Quincy Morris. Have you ever read Dracula?
Oh my God, this is before Bram Stoker's Dracula. I always thought
Yeah,
that movie was older.
this is before Bram Stoker's Dracula because I watched this and then when I saw Bram Stoker's Dracula, I was like, "There's Bill Campbell. There's the Rocketeer.
Oh.
He's a Texas guy."
He doesn't have a impressive resume.
No, because really that it just didn't. It's like things didn't go out.
Yeah, it didn't go. Yeah,
no, it doesn't. Sometimes there's a lot of good actors that just fall between the cracks.
I know.
Plus the Peavy. Who was Peavy? What was the character name?
Alan Locken.
Yeah, I mean he's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's been.
And another neat thing is Lothar. The character is played Lothar. Remember the big giant?
Yeah, I saw.
Well, you know what? No, he's based on somebody from the 30s, actually.
Oh, he is? Because he's a football player. I was like, where the hell did they find this giant?
No, he was okay. And in the 30s, there was an actor. I can't remember if he got sprayed with mustard gas or something. I think he had something wrong with him to begin with, but he had mustard gas.
So that's why they put that thing on his face.
I forgot what the actor's name was, but he was in a lot. If you watch a lot of horror movies or crime dramas made in the 30s,
yeah.
That character, it looks just like Lothar, appears in the movies.
Because I call him Lurch.
Yeah, well, he just makes appearance, and that's what he's based on. He's based
that's
on.
what I
can't remember. I watched a horror movie maybe 3 weeks ago. It had this actor that he's based on in it.
Oh, really? Because his face remind me of Frankenstein's monster.
It's supposed to be. Well, he got deformed due to something that happened to him during the war.
I keep saying Frankenstein's monster now because of you.
Oh, did you?
You're the one who pointed out like the monster is not Frankenstein to me.
Yeah, it's just
because it's Frankenstein's creation. That's the monster. They
never
never gave him a name. It's just Frankenstein's monster. I'm like, and every time I hear people when Frankenstein, right, I have to say it to their face.
Yeah. Well, if you watch Universal movies, it's Frankenstein. But
yeah.
But yeah, the character is always Frankenstein. In all the movies, is always Frankenstein, and then they call it the monster.
The monster.
It's like Doctor Who. His name is not Doctor Who. It's the Doctor.
He's a doctor. Yeah.
So
it just bothers me a lot now. But let's go back to it. So like every time
I'm
I see
glad
this
I could add.
guy,
I'm glad I had an effect on you.
You know what's really funny? Yes. So you know what's really funny when Luther was in that house, right? He's trying to get PV and what's this Cliff?
Cliff.
So the FBI was shooting up the house, okay? Shooting up this house, and he's in there. He's not even ducking. He's just standing there with two pistols, shooting back outside. And I'm like, is everybody a stormtrooper in this movie? What is going on?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, because all those other two guys had to crawl out. But we go back to the first, because he flies an airplane.
Yeah.
But GB racers, I don't know if you know much about airplanes. They're really fast airplanes because there's almost no airplane. They're basically just an engine.
Okay.
Which I thought was funny though, because in the movie it's got Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes has one of the fastest airplanes, an H1. Yes. And you actually see this airplane in the movie. It's sitting in the hangar. It's a silver plane sitting down at the bottom. Not the one with the propeller on the top, because that wasn't really a Howard Hughes airplane.
Oh, okay.
The helicopter thing. I'm like, why are you using somebody else's airplane? But the thing is, he crashes his airplane, which we've got to point out because he has the gum.
Yeah, he has the gum.
B-Man's gum, which you could buy at World Market. Yes. He puts the gum on the airplane for luck. And of course, TV rips the gum off, throws it on the ground, and he goes off flying, and he gets shot down by a bunch of gangsters that are after a jetpack.
Yeah, that's a jetpack. Yeah, the Howard Hughes technology.
Yeah. Well, the neat thing is so what's the guy drives in the hangar, and he's got to hide that jetpack, so he hides it in one of the airplanes, and he pulls. A lot of people keep saying it's an Electrolux vacuum cleaner. It's a Hoover vacuum cleaner.
Oh, interesting.
Cleaner, which is neat because it's called Hoover. Hoover is the head of the FBI.
Yes. Those two FBI agents made a reference about that when they were chasing those people down.
Exactly, because it says, but they keep going through cars.
Yeah.
But he puts it in the seat, and then he goes across the runway. The plane hits the car, and the plane crashes, and the car runs into the fuel truck.
Yes.
Blows up, and of course the FBI don't know what a rocket pack looks like, so they see that smashed Hoover vacuum cleaner, and they call Howard Hughes and tell him. Yeah, he goes, "Are you sure about that?" They're like, "Yep." It looks like it's done for.
I know that's the thing that in those 90s movies, like, yeah, sure, whatever, is that's it. That's the done deal. That's what it is.
Yeah,
it blew up.
Done
that's
deal.
All you need to
and
believe.
Of course it comes back to haunt him always in all the 90s movies. You're right.
And I like
course,
in this one when they asked Rob, like, Howard, like, what is your anticipation time of building the next one? Like, I'm not building another one.
Exactly. I like that. He goes, which is funny because Howard Hughes was a weapons contractor for the United States government anyways at this time. And I also noticed he's a little older in this movie at this time.
Yes.
He shouldn't have really been that old. He should have been younger because he just got done. Because you saw the movie Aviator, right?
No, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies. Yeah, I love that movie. Probably the best Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
Ooh.
I know everybody can argue it. I don't care.
Yes, everybody can. I can argue it. There's so many. I can't pinpoint.
You actually can't argue because the problem is you can argue all you want. You're not going to change my position.
Oh yeah, I know. I love that. Yeah, there's nothing you can change our position. But then, I mean, that's your favorite Leo DiCaprio movie.
I mean, Departed was good too, but.
Oh, Departed was great. I mean, like, I also like Blood Diamond.
I never seen Blood Diamond.
Oh my god, Blood Diamond is great.
Yeah, I gotta go watch Blood Diamond.
Like, just as soon as Leo DiCaprio speak for the first time, right? Then
that's the thing. I never ever hear anybody mention Blood Diamond. If you ever say Linux, you'll hear all 100 other movies. You'll never hear Blood Diamond. So if you say Blood Diamond, that means I know it's got to be good.
Oh, Blood Diamond is great. Like, as soon as Leo speaks, I'm thinking, is this Leo DiCaprio? Because he's speaking with a Romanian or Rhodesian, it's some kind of foreign accent, and I'm like, did he live there? Is he part that? Like, what the heck is he? But then he's not from Boston. He also speaks with a Boston accent in Departed.
Yeah, Departed. He did good in Departed.
Crap. Like,
we'll have to see those later, though.
Blood Diamond is great. I love it.
But we get Howard Hughes, and of course he throws the paperwork for the Cirrus jetpack on the fireplace. Of course, can we get you to reconsider? No. Tell the president. The idea is dead. But I love that poster. Did you see that poster he throws? Well, it's a folder.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a World's Fair 2, 1939.
Oh yeah, they showed that. Yeah, I do. I saw that World's Fair.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. They throw it on the paper, and the idea is dead. And of course, we got to jump to Cliff. They're trying to figure out how they're going to pay for that busted
Oh, I
airplane.
know. Like they could play. They could be a clown and stuff. Pay
Yeah, they're going to be that clown
$15.
deal. Of course, Bigelow, that guy tells him. He's listened to him, and of course he's like, I could do that. It'd be cost us. They'll pay us $15. He goes, no, I'll pay you $10 and $5, and that goes towards your bill.
Yeah, go to your bill. Yeah.
Because either do it or see me in court. What a jerk.
It is, but then you know what you're gonna do. He's the one who has the money, right? That's
Yeah, he's got the money, and it's not even their fault. It's just bad luck.
Yep.
Peavy shouldn't have pulled the gun off the airplane.
I know, that's the thing. Like that's the thing. Like they said that in the very beginning scene. Like the gum is the good luck.
Yeah, the gum is good luck. It's really a very important thing. And if you're not watching, you don't remember him sticking it on the end of the airplane and
this is what they use for the MacGuffin, right? Am I saying that right? The MacGuffin. You know what that is, right?
I would say, yeah. I mean, I know what a MacGuffin is. Yeah. I don't know if it's a MacGuffin because in the MacGuffin, the object that you search for that you never, because okay, in Pulp Fiction, the suitcase had the MacGuffin in it.
Yep.
You never know what the MacGuffin is.
Yeah,
right?
It doesn't really matter what. Do you know what the MacGuffin is? No, I guess the gum is not the MacGuffin.
Yeah, because it's not important. Yeah, it drives the story, but it's not important to the story. But then we get to see Jennifer Connelly. That's when we get to his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
He calls her, and I guess she lives in a dormitory.
Yeah, she's a young girl trying to be an actress right at that point.
Yeah, well, she is an actress. Like Cliff says, you're part of the scenery.
Scenery actress.
And he picks her up. And this is where we're introduced to Jennifer. I mean, what was her name in the
Jenny?
movie?
It's Jenny, man. Yes.
Yeah, because I should have known that because a lot of the airplanes are not Jenny.
Yeah.
This is where we introduce her, and then she, of course, this is where we hear about Neville Sinclair.
Yes, Neville Sinclair. Didn't they go watch a movie or something? They watch a show, right?
Well, they're going. He's taking her out to go see a movie, and she's like, "Hey, I get to pick this time."
Yes.
And of course, he's like, "What was it, Cagney?" He goes, "A Cagney movie," which was a famous actor at the time. I don't really know a lot of the 1930s actors.
I don't either.
But anyhow, because we actually see this, when the airplane gets shot down by the gangsters.
Yes.
He flies over that billboard for what is it, Wings Over Europe or something? Whatever.
Yeah, Wings Over Europe. Yes.
With starring Neville Sinclair.
Yeah.
Of course, Jenny wants to go see it. He's like, "What? I hate," because he doesn't like that guy.
Yeah.
Which is, he's like an Errol Flynn. A lot of men didn't like Errol Flynn back in the day. He's like kind of like a George Clooney.
Oh.
Well, because all women love him. And he's a big star, but he's not really that great.
I don't think he's that great. I think every time he's in a movie, he's George Clooney acting like George Clooney.
Yeah, well, we're past that point. But I mean, that's basically what I would say. He would be like that in a way. But a bigger star, because George Clooney is not the number 3 box office star of the United States.
Yeah.
I don't really know who the number 3 box office star in the United States is. But this is what this guy is. So they go see the movie, and it doesn't even show the movie, but they show up at the, it shows you how cheap Cliff is.
Yeah.
Because he takes her back to the giant dog restaurant, which I would actually like to eat at.
Oh, at the diner? I know. I saw that. Yeah. I would like to eat
it's based on a real diner, by the way.
Oh, really?
But the diner was destroyed in California, they used to make diners look like different things. There was like a brown derby. It looked like a hat. I think it still exists. I think they restored it. But all throughout California, out in the countryside around LA and stuff, they all have restaurants. I guess the Giant Donut building is newer.
Okay.
But like in the 30s stuff, they made little stands. Like even McDonald's came along during this time.
Wow.
But they'd always make them look like little animals or houses or shoes.
Yeah.
I think because I remember they used to have it wasn't in California, but you go to a hotel, motels. You drive your car in. They look like giant teepees. You ever seen these?
No, I have not.
Oh, they're still around. They're still out in you're traveling on Route 66 out in the desert. I guess they're in Arizona. There's probably some in California. They're neat. They're giant, but there's a house inside there. It's a little room. You'd go to the main office, get your keys, and go to this little teepee and open the door and go in there. It's a little room, little round room. They're so neat. People did all kinds of awesome things back in the day.
Yes.
But we see them eating at the restaurant, and of course, he hasn't told her that he almost got killed.
Yep.
Even though she's telling him his good news. And the thing is, it's kind of how he doesn't really seem to take her job that serious.
No, because I guess.
Which in a way, he doesn't seem to take her that serious yet either.
No. Not yet.
She's not really. I mean, he loves her, But he hasn't really decided he loves her. You know, she just he's got to fly, and she does a silly job.
Yep.
You know, she has a silly dream.
Is silly dream if that's even a job, you know.
But I like it because in a way, because he's kind of like making fun of the movie in front of her, and she keeps trying to explain how great it, what the symbolism is. I like it because he keeps trying to explain it, and finally she gives up.
Right, yeah, because he doesn't even like movies anyway, right? When they go on
Yeah.
this date, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't really like anything. He's just going to go out with her because he thinks there's a plan in the future with her, but he's not thinking of it now. And of course, you were introduced to some of the other characters that are in Cliff's life.
Yep.
The people that run the little shop, the old guy that hasn't flown a World War II airplane.
Yeah, that fought forever.
World War One. I'm sorry, he fought in World War One.
Yeah.
And always tells the German stories.
Wait, what was this movie rated? Was it rated PG?
PG? But this wasn't released by Walt Disney.
It's released by.
It's their other arm.
Buena Vista.
Yeah, was it Buena Vista?
And Touchstone Pictures.
I thought it was Hollywood Pictures. Yeah, it's Touchstone. This was the Touchstone Pictures. Yeah, and I don't know why they didn't want to put the Disney name on it.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention the other famous actor I knew, Paul Sorvino.
Oh yeah, Paul Sorvino. We forgot it. We can't leave out because he's actually. Well, because he plays gangsters.
Yeah,
he does a good job as a gangster.
He's a good fella.
He's a gangster. He's Eddie Valentine.
Eddie Valentine, I know.
I know, because remember, goes, "Hey, happy Valentine's Day."
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, this is where Jenny realizes Cliff didn't tell her the story.
Yeah, she was so upset too. Like it feels like they're so serious already,
They're pretty serious. Well, I guess she was serious, but he's not. Because remember, she leaves, and of course that lady's like, "Hey, go after her, you dope." He runs out there, and she's already left. And of course, they got to go. What do they go back to the airport?
Well, before they go back to the airport, they showed that Lurch guy or Luther kill that guy in the hospital.
Well, no, yeah. Then they go. Oh no, we go. That's where we see. We finally see the actor, Neville Sinclair.
Yeah, Neville Sinclair. Oh, he talks to Eddie.
Remember, we see at his house.
Yeah.
And then we see him talking to the gangsters.
Like fencing or something at the same time.
Yeah, well, he's got his sword because he's Errol Flynn. Yep. Plus the house. You've seen this house before.
Yeah. Oh, really?
This house is Blade Runner house. The bricks, Decker's house?
Yeah.
That's Decker's house.
Oh, my God. So
this house was used in a lot of movies. This house was used in a lot of movies.
Okay,
Notice that. This is a real house built by Wright. Was it Lloyd Wright?
Lloyd Wright.
I don't know. I've got a whole bunch of his books behind me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it's built by a famous architect. It's built in Hollywood, 1920s. But this house has been used a lot of stuff. But anyways, we see his house, and he's talking about the rocket, and they're like, "Hey, what's he telling him?"
Well, that's when we find out he wants the rocket. That's what the
we find out he wants rocket. We don't know why he wants the rocket.
We don't know, but he's the one who sent.
You got a suspicion why he wants the rocket, because I mean, come on, why would an actor want a jetpack? But he's getting the mafia works for him. But apparently he gets Eddie Valentine works for him, and then they get a little spat. Which there is one part of this movie I don't like. It looks so over rehearsed. Okay, remember when they get a fight, and of course Eddie Valentine tells Neville that he's a little crazy, and he gets mad and puts that sword up to him.
Yes.
He goes, "Shoot! Why don't you shoot?" Then he hits that flower and knocks it to that guy, and that guy catches it. Doesn't that seem mess with you? Because it looks like he's waiting for it to catch it.
Oh, yeah.
You see that? I'm like, dude, y'all should have recut that. Y'all should have reshot that.
Because
that looks so wrong.
Because it was a long day,
Yeah, because I know that guy's waiting. I'm just like... But anyhow, they leave. Of course, they told Neville that he's going to pay him 3 times.
Yeah.
Now. But then that's when we go to Luther. Goes in the hospital room.
Yeah, kill the little guy.
Throws that guy up all into a little pretzel.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, throws the pretzel. Like the cop outside was just, I guess, listening with the nurse on the radio about something.
Yeah, they listen to the radio, listen to some show.
Yep.
Then they realize it's not that funny. Because they get in there and that guy's standing on the ledge.
Yeah, like he's a huge dude and he's able to climb outside quick and hang on the ledge. Like the cop never thought about it. Like, well, let me look outside to make sure he's really not there.
Yeah, they don't look. They just kind of look out the window.
They're like, oh, it's not there.
and
Too
then
bad.
run off. Hey, that's like they do. That's they do in all the old movies.
Yeah, all
It's
the
got to be
old
like the
movies,
old
I
movies,
know.
you know. Because the people always go out the window on the ledge, and all the 1930s, 40s, 50s movies, they always go out on the ledge of the Mercer, and the police never see them because they just kind of barely look
It's
at
just
them.
like, sorry, we gotta go now.
But here's the funny thing: I'm like, if there's people driving down the street, this guy's huge. How can you not see this high? I mean, it's like Godzilla. I mean, King Kong hanging off the Empire State
Yeah,
Building.
like it's kind of like if that was 007, right? You immediately like that's 007. That's the spy. He's not from around here. He's not incognito mode. You should not
Yeah,
find
he's
this
just
guy to
hanging
be a
off.
spy.
Yeah, he's just hanging off the side of the building. I
Yep.
mean, how can you not see it?
Yep.
But then we finally get to see the rocket pack.
Yeah, the rocket pack because the old dude was flying the show, or, doing the thing.
Well, no, remember he jumps in the seat. We forgot all about the part where he gets in the plane and he hits
Oh,
that
that's
box.
right. And there was
They find
something
that
in the
rocket
sea.
pack.
Yeah.
And of course, they're looking at it and they don't know what it is.
They
Of
don't know
course,
what it
Cliff
is.
pushes that button. Pee-wee's like, I wouldn't press that. He goes
And
right
they
through the
press it
oxygen.
anyway. Yeah. It's very
They
Men in
realize
Black.
it's cool. They realize it's cool. The next thing they do, they go to that Lucky something studio.
Yeah, they steal a mannequin.
Yeah, they steal that statue.
Yeah.
And they tie it to the back, and they stake that thing in the ground and shoot it off electricity.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was crazy because it flies around, and then they build the helmet.
They build the helmet. Yep.
House, remember, out of a radio. He cuts that radio in half.
Yeah.
Remember, he goes to sleep. He cuts it and welds it and builds him a helmet. He looks at it like, what? And then that's when because after they find the rocket, Cliff started like, I'm gonna fly this thing.
Yeah, he wanted to fly
like,
this thing.
Phoebe's like, you're not gonna fly this thing. So he goes to tell Ginny about the jetpack.
Yep.
And that's when we see Devil Sinclair acting.
Oh yeah, the acting thing. It looks like they're shooting like a Robin Hood movie.
Yeah, I'm sure it was because I mean, like I said, he's supposed to be like Errol Flynn, and Errol Flynn did a lot of swashbuckling sword fights. That was his thing.
Ah, okay.
So this guy, of course, he fights it. Cliff shows up, knocks the set.
Yeah, he knocks the set down. Like he didn't care. Like who the heck is what? Like they said he not have any common courtesy. And he just blurred at Jenny's name out loud. Like, do you not think that you're gonna get her in trouble?
I know. What kind of jerk was that? Really, what's really sad is Jenny's like, it's me.
Yeah, it's me. Like, I would have like, don't say anything.
I would have been like,
what? Do you know Jenny? Where's Jenny?
Yeah, who's this jerk? Somebody get him off the set.
That's why this movie is very simple, right? Like, so it gives him, like, Neville a reason to fire her and then warn her back at the same time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because, he fires her, and then, of course, he's sitting there and he overhears about the rocket. Now he's like, oh, my God, I got to find Jenny now.
Yep.
And, of course, he goes up to her, and then she turns around and she's crying, and he's like, wow, I didn't know you looked like that. How did I not see you?
Yep.
He's like, I'm going to get Jenny, and I'm going to get a rocket back.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of feeling we want.
Yeah, then he, of course, I like it how he goes, so how about I take you to lunch? He goes, you're not tired of the South Seas Club yet, are you? Of course, that's the South Seas Club. It's the one that Jenny wanted to go to because she's never been there.
Yeah.
And Cliff's too cheap to take her.
Yep.
Well, he blew up an airplane. So, of course, she agrees to it.
Has no money, okay?
Yeah. And then, of course, Cliff's late to show up to the air show.
Yeah, to the air show. That's right.
And so Malcolm, that old man, he decides, I'll dress up like a clown. I'll fly the airplane. And then when they realize that he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it because, like they first started off, everybody, we have an emergency. And then, of course, Bigelow runs over there. No.
No, it's part of the show, I know.
Yeah, this is part of the show. It's like it's going to let everybody get killed just to make some money.
Just to make some money, man, because he don't want anybody to leave. Yeah, the whole time he's like, oh, it's part of the show. Like, it looks like this guy's about to crash, but oh, it's part of the show.
It's part of the show. He almost hit those racing airplanes. I mean,
Yeah.
we let people mess up a race all the time. And, of course, then that's when Cliff decides he's going to have to use the rocket pack to go save him.
Yeah, to save him, right? I like, the special effects was okay. It did remind me kind of like Superman-ish when, Superman was flying.
It was very Superman-ish.
Yeah.
Except, I guess the way he flew is different.
Yeah.
I mean, still effects haven't caught up with everything yet.
Mm-mm.
And I mean, you didn't see too many men flying in movies other than Superman. Yeah. Because, I mean, Batman hasn't come out. Batman did come out.
No, Batman
came out in 89. Yeah. But Batman doesn't fly, so it doesn't matter. So, yeah, the effects, I think the effects were okay. I mean, This is a movie they could clean up a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyhow, he flies up and saves Malcolm. Of course, freaks Malcolm out. He
Yeah.
looks like an alien. But he saves that guy. And everybody's freaking out. You know, everybody's doing it. And of course, he, you know, shows him fly up near the airplane. And he waves at the people and then just turns his engine off, turns it back on. It's just showing him fly around.
Yeah, he just flies. Well,
And
flies
then
away, you know.
yeah, then he crashes way out there in the swamp like stuff.
And PV picks him up.
Yeah, PB picks him up, and then of course, you know, here comes the mafia.
The mafia, the reporters, everybody's
Yeah,
flying.
they're showing
flying
up.
this
So what's
guy.
he do? Tells them to put that pic. I mean, I don't think this would really work, but it's
Yeah,
funny.
But
Yeah.
it's funny, like, you know, just
Yeah.
drive
He
and
gets
just
the-
stay and
yeah.
then he just turn on his jetpack.
Yeah, he's like, put it in neutral.
Yeah.
And they got a rocket pickup truck.
Oh.
Of course, all those guys are like, well, we got to go talk to Bigelow now. Of course, that's when they want Bigelow to give them that name.
Yeah, to give him the name, that's when they're like the Rocket Man. It sounds kind of
Yeah,
lame.
Rocket Man. They go, come on, you got to do better than that. And he looks out that window and sees, what was it, Pioneer?
Pioneer.
And he goes, how about the Rocketeer?
Yeah.
And they're like, yes, we love
So
it.
how fast do you think the Rocketeer flies? Like, what is the miles per hour?
Over 300 miles an hour, I'm thinking.
Really?
Have to be.
Huh.
I mean, airplanes, come on. 300 miles an hour is kind of slow for an airplane.
For an airplane, yeah.
He's flying faster than an airplane. He's flying like a jet.
Cause, you know, I forgot
Like,
which
okay,
podcast
let's
I was listening to.
okay, a slow jet's about 600 miles an hour.
Okay.
Fast jets can go up to Mach 2.
Whoa. Wow.
The fastest jet can do Mach 3. And there may be something faster, but up to at our time period, I think we can hit Mach 2.
So can
Yeah,
stop-
like most fighter jets are around Mach 1.
So let's just say you can fly, right? Not with a jetpack. Let's just say you can fly like Superman. And I wonder, like, how fast do you want to go? Because if you're flying 20 miles an hour, right? Like, I don't want to do this.
If you're flying 20 miles an hour, you're going to hit the ground.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, you can control your speed, but, like, let's just say you,
You
don't
couldn't
have to
go.
fly
You
fast,
couldn't
just
get
stay on
up.
the ground,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you could at 20 miles an hour. You can be in the ground. You wouldn't even get up in the air.
Well, from what? Are you talking about using a jetpack? Or like, I'm saying that you have the ability to fly.
Oh, if you're just a superhero.
Yeah, it's just like a superhero.
Superman.
But, like, how fast do you want to go? You want to get there as quick as
Oh,
possible.
I want to go
right?
really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. If you're Superman, it goes faster you want.
Because if you
I mean,
go,
he
like,
turned the world. Remember, he turned the world backwards,
yeah.
which is. Oh, that is.
Are you gonna bring
when I was
that
a
up?
kid, when I was a little tiny kid, that was cool.
That
I got
is
a little
cool.
bit older, and then it was not that cool.
It's kind of lame, right? Like, what? How does that
it's
work?
so lame now. I don't know. Now that I realized that was in Superman, I don't think I will go. I will not go back and watch Superman. I think.
You know, it's really funny that when we were young, right, and like I guess scientists or whoever, people accepted that. Even people our age. Because if you watch that now, right, like, yeah, I don't accept this either. There's no way you can
Yeah,
fly
but
that would turn
I
around
know.
backwards.
See, here's what I have a problem with. People in their 30s, 40s, they should not have been able to accept that. People in their 20s shouldn't have been able to accept it. But we were like 5 or less.
Yeah, see,
We,
that's the
we,
thing,
it was
right?
okay. When you're 5 years old, it was
And
okay.
I'm thinking, someone even wrote this as a script, right? And then people who read it, like, yeah, this is the thing. This is the bomb right here. We need to do
I
this.
know.
Like,
Who let that go through?
yeah, who let that go through? And I'm thinking, like, can you imagine you wrote that today and be like, no, we're not doing this.
You know, and I bet you nobody will take credit for it. I'm like, I don't know. I wrote the script and somebody added that in. I didn't think about that. Because there's a lot of people, almost even the director's like, yeah, I didn't want to do it. Studio said, let's do it.
So
The studio's probably
comes
like,
to my
no, the
point.
director wanted to do it.
It comes to my point when I was talking about like Rocketeer and you explained the helmet, right? Okay, I accept that as fact. That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
There's no way you could talk about Superman now with that making sense ever. Didn't they
Even
talk
if
about
he
that
is
in the
an
Big Bang
alien.
Theory?
I mean, yeah, alien makes sense. Being an alien makes sense. Flying, making the Earth go backwards and
And then
time
it
going
turns
backwards.
time backwards? No.
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 Oh my goodness.
No.
Because I mean, come on, like when you fly backwards on an airplane,
Yeah.
you fly like, let's say you fly from the United States to China. Are you time traveling? No.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there yesterday.
No, it's yeah. Oh my God. No, let's just get back to the Rocketeer.
Okay, where are we at now? Oh, yeah. Bigelow gave him a name.
Yeah, give him the name. Yep, and then they sell newspapers.
Yeah, I wish I had one of those newspapers. To be honest.
Well, this well from my notes here that Howard Hughes is upset with the FBI because now they know.
Okay, yeah, this is when. Okay, because remember, they go back to his office.
Yep.
And that's when he goes. Yep. He goes. It's a vacuum cleaner.
Yep.
The geniuses could figure it out as a vacuum cleaner.
It's a
Oh well, I mean,
vacuum
come on. Really, could if in 1930s, if there was a jetpack, do you think anybody would really know what one looked like?
And also, if you're
I mean,
like, you would know
a
who the
vacuum
owner
cleaner.
is right away too. Like the owner would know what it is right away too.
Yeah, I mean, he would, but the FBI wouldn't. I mean, any normal person, I couldn't see them knowing because vacuum cleaners were new. Nobody
Oh
knew
yeah,
how a
you're right.
vacuum
Yeah,
cleaner worked. I mean, me and you know how a vacuum cleaner works because they've been around
they've been
forever.
around forever. Yeah.
That's why we know how a lot of stuff works because it's just like part of our lives. But then they're like, vacuum cleaner, this is a new thing. This is awesome. I don't know how it works, but it sucks up dirt.
That's all we know. Yeah.
I mean, come on. We're coming from a time that's not too long ago when they created the Flintstones.
Yeah,
Remember the Flintstones where
I
they
do.
always a dinosaur did something. If they
Yes.
had a vacuum cleaner, it was a dinosaur inside a tube sucking stuff up with its air, with his own mouth.
Yes. It's always like a version of our modern technology back in the day.
Yeah. So, but eventually Bigelow. I guess we can go jump to Bigelow gets killed.
Yes, Bigelow gets killed.
Remember?
Yeah, they killed him.
Well, actually, we don't know it yet. Yeah, we
Oh
don't
yeah.
know it until the FBI goes to see Bigelow first,
Yeah.
because they need to get this. They need to get this rocket. And yeah, they go kill him, and then of course they find Bigelow folded in half.
Yeah. I think
And they
that's
explode it.
Luther's thing, you know. He likes to fold people, but maybe he like pretzels.
Maybe he does. I mean,
That's how he
I
got
can
so
tell, I
big.
don't know if he was German or not. I
Yeah, I
mean, I
have
know
no
he likes
idea.
those. I know he likes those little tiny sandwiches because we saw that scene where he's on the radio. He's got those little big sandwiches. But of course, Luther gets the address, and that's where we go to that scene we were talking about where he goes to the house.
Yeah.
And of
Yes.
course, then the
Trying to get an
FBI
EV.
shows
Yeah.
up. Yeah, and of course they're yelling at him to open up. So Luther just starts shooting through the door to the FBI, and the FBI just cuts the
He's
house
not
in
even
half.
aiming. He's just shooting outside.
Yeah, and the FBI, everybody's like surround the house, and they just shoot the house in half.
Yeah, just shooting in half. I'm like, like he's not even thinking. He's just standing there taking the shots. Like I'm not
Then he
even sure he's
runs.
taking the shots. He's just
Then he
standing.
runs and jumps out the window, man.
That's how he gets out.
Yeah, that guy. I can't believe they didn't hit him with a bullet.
And then we were just complaining about Superman flying backwards.
Oh well.
And then we have this scene.
Well, hey, we saw Pulp Fiction. Remember those two guys jump out of that room and shoot at John
Yes,
Travolta
that's
and
the
Samuel L.
miracle
Jackson,
thing. Yeah.
and they miss them? It's divine intervention.
So
Luther
they have
has
divine intervention.
yeah,
Hey,
divine intervention
Rocketeer.
help save
Okay.
those guys.
Totally. Maybe
I
that's
mean,
where Quentin Tarantino took that scene too. Like, whoa, they shot up that house. They didn't hit him at all.
yeah, he was thinking, that's divine intervention.
I'm
We'll
gonna
put that
do
in
it.
my movie. He could. It's possible. I bet you Tarantino's a fan of Rocketeer.
Yep. And then, well, after that scene, that's when 007 takes Jenny to the club.
Yeah, that's where they're at the South Sea Club. And of course, W.D. Field, or was it whatever Fields
Yeah.
shows up. Where then they see Cary Grant. Yeah, they walk past Cary Grant too.
Yes.
They see a couple. They got to see all the big stars, you know.
Yep.
I'm sure Howard Hughes picked up his girlfriends there too.
Yeah.
The underage ones. But yeah, and then they go there and they're dancing.
And you know what I noticed? That singer, she's Jen from The Office.
Was she really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe.
Because I recognize the face. I mean, obviously she looks a lot younger.
Yeah, well, no, I kind of wondered who she was because, when I saw her, I thought she looked familiar.
Yeah, I recognize her right away. Like, oh, that's Jen from The Office. If I could look up her, hold on, let me look at The Office. I'm gonna look at.
I thought she's younger than that.
No, she was supposed to play Marty's girlfriend in Back to the Future, but she was too tall.
Oh, really? I didn't know
that was
that.
the thing. That's why they recast her because she matched up really well with Eric Stoltz.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like, let's see.
Huh. Well, see, I saw her singing. I was like, that girl looks familiar, but I decided that wasn't anybody it wasn't anybody we knew at all.
Yes.
Sure, that's Jenna Fisher.
Hold on, what's Jen Levinson? I spelled it. Yeah, I'm gonna look at her resume.
That's not Jenna from the Office.
Yep, the Rocketeer, South Sea singer.
Wow.
Yeah, I knew it. I was like,
I can't believe you saw that. I didn't even notice that. Yeah. That is awesome.
Yep.
There's probably a lot of stars in there in this movie. We don't even know.
Yeah, we don't even know.
Because then, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of familiar faces.
Yes.
Because Lothar's in here twice. The guy that plays Lothar.
Yeah.
Remember when they're flying through there and they see those two farmers and they go gophers?
Oh.
That tall farmer. That's
Yeah.
Lothar.
Oh, that's funny.
And somebody says the guy who created the Rocketeer.
Was in the movie?
He's the guy. He's the German with the jetpack on.
Really?
The testing. That's what they said. I mean, I don't know that's for a fact because you never see his face at all.
Yeah.
He just gets blown up. But let's see. They got the South Sea Club, and of course, Peavy and Cliff. They escape to the dog diner.
Right. That's
where
when
they're
the
up in the
gangsters
attic.
show up.
Of course, yeah. That's when. Well, yeah. Isn't that where? Was that where the agents show up?
Oh, is that the part where he punches the agent?
No, that's in the beginning. Remember, he punched the agent in the very beginning.
Oh, because he crashed that plane. That's right.
Yeah, because that guy told him to get a real job.
Get a real job.
He
That's
punched him
messed
right
up,
in
man.
his face. And of course, the other guy tells him, "You had it coming, man."
Yeah, he had it coming. I guess that's the way that it went down back then.
Yeah, I
You
would
could
think
punch a federal agent and get away with it.
I bet you could way back in the day.
I know.
But let's see, they're in the building. I can't remember what happens next.
They're in the diner, right? Like
they're in the diner.
But they find out Jenny's location because one of the gangsters.
Oh yeah, well yeah, you're right. The mobsters show up at the diner.
Yeah.
Because they come downstairs and he's gonna make a phone call to the FBI and tell them about the rocket pack, and then those gangsters show up. Of course, the gangsters like to start destroying pie, shoot the radio. What a bunch of losers.
It's about that the gangsters,
of course,
right?
Of course, they find her phone number. They find Jenny's phone number.
And they find out where Jenny is.
Yeah, they find out, and then they think that Valentine's getting double crossed because when they find out where she's at, they find out she's with Neville. So they're like, well, we got to leave. And of course, Cliff and them, they overpower the last two guys.
Yeah, the last two guys, yeah.
And of course, Cliff goes to the South Sea Club.
Well, before, wasn't it leaking there already? Was the jetpack leaking?
Yes, because remember he shot when they get in an argument. They shot and he gets up there. You're right. He gets that bullet hole in the jetpack, and right before he takes off, Peavy notices it, and he takes that gum.
That gum to seal it up. Yeah.
Yeah, puts that gum because you're right. That's an important plot. That gum is actually, I can't say it's a MacGuffin, but it is an important part.
Yep.
Because it helps the ending of this movie.
He does.
So, yeah, of course he patches up that hole. And he takes off, goes to South Sea Club.
You know, it's really funny. When I saw that scene, I knew it was gonna bite someone else in the ass in the end. Like something's gonna happen. That's why they show that so well,
Yeah, because they did make it. Because they center the shot right on it.
Yep, it's a '90s movie.
And of course he goes to the South Sea Club, and he's the waiter.
Yeah, he's the waiter.
He dresses up like a waiter. He's got that leather jacket under that white coat.
Under the white, like how tight is his clothes?
Yeah, then he goes up there. Of course, he puts a note in her suit. It says, "Meet me by the big fish."
Yeah, meet by the big fish. It's so funny. He's serving them soup. Like, we didn't order soup. Someone bought it. Someone ordered this for you at another table.
Yeah, I like that. And then of course, remember he goes, "How long have you worked here?" He goes,
like, I served you last time.
Yeah, and then he stands there and he's like messing with the flowers.
Yeah.
Like he needs to go on. Of course, Ginny knows who he is, and she's like, "Oh, I don't know why the other pilots let him fly."
Yeah. And then she keeps trying to I do know this guy. They're talking about some kind of mysterious jetpack, and she keeps trying to. That was a very funny scene.
I know, but I like it how he just stands there and he's like messing with the flowers, and Neville Sinclair's just looking at him like, "Leave.
What are you doing here?" And he was he was so interested in what she was trying to say too. That worked really well.
Oh yeah, I like that. Then she goes down there and then he grabs her, pulls her in the plants.
Yeah, well, because he spilled the water on purpose.
Yeah, he spills that water or whatever, her drink on him, and then she has to leave. But then that's when he tells her that he's
a
go crazy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, remember he goes on the Rocketeer. Yeah, on the Rocketeer, she's like, "The who?
The who?
Don't you read the newspaper?
Do you read the newspaper? Yeah,
I like it. She's like, "I've been working all day." But of course, he explains to her, and then after he tells her how he feels about her.
Yeah.
Then she likes, "All right, I'll go along with your plan.
And
I'll go to my parents' house and hide." and that's cool. And then of course, here comes Lothar.
Yeah. Well, I like the scene where she goes out to get the cab, right? That scene reminds me of the first Batman movie, but a lot darker. You
Oh
know?
yeah,
Yeah, it does. Like the outside the scenery, because from that time era.
it reminds me of 1940. What is it? The 1941 movie.
1941 movie.
Oh, it's. I don't know if you haven't seen it. I think it's 1940. Is it 1940 or 1941? It's got a. Who did all it have in it? It had Dan Aykroyd in it. It's directed by Spielberg.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking
It's
about.
like a comedy movie.
Yeah, yeah, it's a comedy movie. Yeah, that was fun.
Yes, yeah, it's got the
1971.
yeah, it's got the submarine. Yeah, it's got the submarine and stuff.
John Belushi is in it, obviously.
Yeah,
You know.
John Belushi had a whole bunch of people.
Christopher Lee, Ned Beatty.
Yeah, Christopher Lee. Basically German. But anyhow, that's what it reminds me of because it's set in the same time period.
Okay, so like the taxi cab and how it looks
Yeah.
outside. Yeah.
Also, you know, when I'm watching this movie, I also think of Roger Rabbit.
Oh yes, yes.
Who
That's
saved
it.
Roger Rabbit?
You
It
say
almost
Ro-
looks just like it, especially
I love
the
that movie.
studios stuff.
Who framed Roger Rabbit?
But yeah, that's the thing. But you know, he's flying around in the South because they try to trap him in
Yeah.
there. He's flying around. He's setting the tables on fire. He busts the Snell with the ice, which is
Yes.
kind of funny because you know what? She goes back in there to save him, but she can't get in at first.
Yeah,
So
it's
he
weird.
busts
Like,
that door.
she goes in
You know,
and knocks out one of the guys, right? And then she can leave.
she knocks out Lothar.
Yes, Lalo Lothar.
She likes to hit people in the head with stuff.
She does, because she does that later again.
Yeah.
She's like,
She knocks
a
him out.
murderer.
And the funny thing is, the only way to get out is for the Rocketeer to fly up straight up
Yeah,
through the
to
glass,
the glass. Yeah.
which is cool. So he flies up and he thinks he's good because he told her to go home. And
Yep.
it turns out she's in there now.
She's in there, and Neville got
Now
her.
she gets catch. Yeah, Neville catches her.
With core form, if I might add. You
Yeah,
know, because she didn't have anything
chloroform.
handy.
Yep. Just like what was that movie? Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah.
You ever see that movie, Cloak and Dagger?
No.
Oh man, it was about man, that's a good movie. It's in the '80s. It's about an Atari game that has secret codes hidden at the very end of it, and all these spies want to get it. Yeah, we have to talk about it sometime.
Okay.
But so they capture her, and of course Neville kidnaps her and takes her to his house. Dirty old man.
Yes. Like really nice bed sheets and everything. She wakes up and then she just like when she finds out he's coming in, right? She just pretends that she's sleeping again. And I was like,
yeah,
she didn't find any information because she felt like she pretends she's sleeping, and then he comes in with a smelling salt anyway.
Yeah, and then she acts like he wakes her up because she's a good actress.
Oh, that's it. That's what it is.
Because you know, because I guess he thinks he's so good that he doesn't realize that she could be acting too. Because remember, he tries to read her. He tells her, "Oh, I'm being blackmailed and stuff," and she's just playing along with it. Of course, you know, he tells her a line, and she goes, "You said
That's
this
from this
line
movie,
too."
yeah.
So he does another line, and she's like, "Well, you did that from that movie."
Yes. I thought that was so funny. I'm like, man, how long are they gonna do this?
Of course, he realizes that she already knows he's fake.
Yeah.
And I like it though. So she goes ahead and plays along like she's gonna put on that dress.
Yep.
And then she knocks
And then
him
she
in his
knocks
head.
him on the head again with something like, man, she's gonna kill this guy.
Yes. And I love that because you know then she goes into that room. Well, she wakes Lothar up or gets him to get up. But she goes to that library, pulls that book down, goes in there, and then all of a sudden we have.
Okay, so how does she know to do that?
Well, because she saw it through the window. Remember?
Oh yeah.
When she was sleeping on the bed.
Oh, so that was the scene. That's
she
right.
wakes up. She walks up to because the house. She walks up there and she sees him come out of that room, that secret room.
Yeah.
So she goes and lays on the bed.
Yeah, I was like, what
Then
the
after
hell is
she
he
knocks
doing?
him out, then she goes in that secret room, and then we have
the Nazi room.
Exactly. We kind of have a Indiana Jones moment here.
Yes, it's a very
by the
Indiana
way,
Jones moment.
Which, by the way, the director was the art supervisor and special effects supervisor on the Indiana Jones movies.
Joe Johnston was?
Yes, Joe Johnston works for ILM.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I told you. Didn't I tell you the story? George Lucas paid for his schooling to become a director.
No, you did not tell me this story.
Oh, okay. No, George. Yeah, okay. He's from Texas. He came from Texas, and he needed a job. He wanted a film job.
Yeah.
And he found a job at ILM. So he worked for Star Wars. He is the creator of Boba Fett.
You
Yes.
just blew my mind.
Yes, Joe Johnston is the creator of almost everything that you love.
You're right.
He is the guy. Okay, when you watch The Empire Strikes Back,
Yeah.
you're watching Joe Johnston's greatest works.
Oh.
He helped create Yoda. He drew the artwork. Him and McCurry. I'm saying his name wrong. They both helped draw Yoda. They did Boba Fett. They did Hoth. They did almost all of that. And he worked on. He just did a little bit on Star Wars. He did some work on Star Wars. He did that. And then he went to Indiana Jones and did a lot of work on it too.
So he worked for George Lucas. Oh
yes, he worked for George Lucas, and he wanted to go be a director. But George Lucas was like, okay, how about you stay work for me part-time stuff, and I'll pay for your schooling for you to be a director.
Whoa.
So yeah, George Lucas took care of him.
And he directed Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yes, and he also put Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, I like that movie too.
October Sky.
Oh, I've never seen October Sky.
Haven't either. I should. He's done a lot of stuff. Anything that looks like 1930s, he's done it. He hasn't done like a whole list of stuff, but everything he's done's been pretty good.
He's been pretty good. Let me look at his resume.
So yeah, this is who's directing this movie. This is an ILM graduate.
He did the first Jumanji.
Yes, I forgot that he did Jumanji.
He did Jurassic Park 3.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He did the Wolfman. Hidalgo? I remember that. That's Vincent, right?
Hidalgo's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the horse.
Yeah, Viggo Mortensen. Yeah.
That was a very good Disney movie too.
Well, he did the Wolfman. Why did I know that movie?
I didn't see the Wolfman.
Is it? Yeah, it's Benicio del Toro and
yeah,
Anthony Hopkins.
I would like to see that one. I never got to see that one, but I want to see it.
Hugo Weaving is in it. That's why he's in the Red Skull.
Yep.
It's the music by Danny Elfman. Why did I never seen this movie?
I don't know why we haven't seen this movie. We got to see this movie then.
Oh, because budget was $150 million. It only made $142 at the box office.
Oh, I mean, I know it didn't do good, but it don't mean it's a bad movie.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just because there was other movies.
Because look at Joe Johnston's movies. A lot of Joe Johnston's movies are good. They just never were like giant box office.
Other credits: Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, visual effects artist, and art director.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, he was in Howard the Duck. Ultra light sequence designer. So we gotta watch that soon. We talk about that. We're gonna talk.
He also worked on Willow.
Yes.
He also worked on Willow.
Associate producer. Wow.
He did
the Iron Giant. Designer of the Iron Giant.
He's done a lot of stuff, man.
Oh, so this guy is very creative.
Yeah, this guy's been behind the scenes.
Well, he's 70.
For a lot of stuff that we watched.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, this is a big deal.
Yes, it is a big deal.
So yeah, Captain America, come on. And then the Rocketeer. But now that we know he's a Nazi.
Yes. Now he's a Nazi.
Because this guy's like, and he's proud of it.
Yeah, he's proud of it. Like, once I find out he's a Nazi, like, okay, now I totally understand why he wants a jetpack. That's even before they show me the film.
Oh, and this is one of my favorite parts. Okay, because remember, Secord goes back to the diner, and the FBI finally gets him.
Yep.
After though, he gets a phone call from Valentine that they got his girlfriend. Yep. He better bring the jetpack. Meet him at the observations place.
Yeah, towards the end. Yeah.
Don't bring anybody. But of course, then the FBI shows up. They get him, and they take him to Howard Hughes.
They take him to Howard Hughes. Is like, how is Howard Hughes the director of the FBI? What's going on?
He's the richest man in America.
Yeah, he's the richest man. He's a weapons contractor, so.
Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, he is the richest man in the United States.
Yep.
He's Howard Hughes.
He's also
I don't know
smart.
if he's the richest man. He's actually not the richest man in America yet. In that movie, he's just a millionaire.
Yeah.
He'll become a billionaire after they make him sell TWA. Hey, I'm a Howard Hughes fan. Okay.
Yes.
He's an awesome guy.
I like every smart person. Like, I'm a huge fan of Bill Gates
he's an
and
innovator.
Elon Musk.
He was an innovator.
Yeah, innovator.
He pushed America forward.
Innovators.
Yeah, he pushed America forward.
Yep.
But okay, so he goes to the FBI and he tells him the story, and then that's when they show him.
We
got to show you this film. I like how he says that. He goes, "Watch this film, kid. Somebody lost their life." It's like Star Wars to me.
Yeah, I thought about that too. I thought about episode 4.
Yeah, exactly.
When they said that, like, oh my god, like that's episode 4.
A man lost his life trying to get this out of Germany. So of course they watch this film. The film, I love this film
The film is
because it's
very
so
high
Disney.
production
It
at
looks
that time.
exactly. It looks like a Disney film.
Yeah.
You remember the old Disney films from that time period?
Yes.
And it is. I mean, it's a Disney movie, so they got some good artists.
Yes.
And it's got that music going. Dun, 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 dun. It shows
Yeah.
all those little rocket guys.
It's such a good promotion for the Nazis.
Yeah,
So
well,
weird.
but you got to think the Nazis did do. I don't know if they did stuff that good, but they had films. They did a lot of propaganda.
I believe that, the propaganda. I believe they made it that good to inspire.
It was because I mean I've seen posters from that time period. There used to be a book of World War II propaganda posters.
Yeah.
They made some pretty crazy looking, really inspiring posters.
Yep.
Did a lot of cartoon style art. So I mean the United States did a lot too. So, but I like that film because that film's like whoa. And of course that's like we can't let the Nazis get this stuff.
Yeah.
Of course so he's got to run out. Well, they want to throw him in the pokey.
Yeah.
But I like he jumps on the Howard Hughes airplane, which by the way is the Spruce Goose.
Oh, okay.
He goes on that thing, and of course they all stand there smiling. He goes, "It will fly." Because remember, because you see the Aviator, remember everybody tells them that giant airplane's not going to fly.
Yeah, I know.
We see it fly, and of course the Rocketeer flies off, and then we go to the
he punches that same FBI guy again. I love that part.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Punches him again.
Man, he gave it to that FBI guy at that time.
He knocks him.
I mean, that guy's face is a target.
He just punches him again.
Yeah, punches him right in his face, and he jumps on the airplane, flies, and then he goes to the observation place.
Yeah, with the jetpack. Cool. Yeah, he flies.
Yeah, he lands with a jetpack, and he's got to walk through all those mob guys.
I know. I was like, what is that about?
Yeah, and
he's all those mob guys with no plan.
Yeah, I know. He's like,
he thinks everything's gonna be okay.
You know what he thinks? He thinks he's just gonna push that little button.
Yeah,
because I like it. When he walks up there to the genie and he's like got his finger on the button, he goes, "Let her go," and I'll give you the jetpack. Of course, Neville grabs her and puts that gun right up to her.
Yeah, put a gun on her. Yep.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not playing around now, man. You're gonna give me that jetpack.
And then
I like that. I like
get quick on his
This
feet.
is this is the turning point in this movie.
Yeah.
Where he tells Valentine, so how's it work? How's it feel to be work for a Nazi? And here's the neat thing. There's a backstory. There's actually somebody who did a backstory for this.
For Valentine?
Well, yeah. For Valentine. Valentine was supposed to have been a war hero during World War I. He faked his age to fight World War I, and that's why he doesn't like Nazis. Or he doesn't like, he loves his country even though he's a thug.
Yeah. But he said that with that one line, like, I'm a proud American.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you didn't really need the backstory after that. I like that because I might be a 2-bit thug.
Yeah, 2-bit thug, but I'm American.
It's some of that scene, because I remember some of that scene when they're at the South Seas Clubs. Remember when he tells Neville, he goes, if we get caught, he goes, I'm gonna take you down with me. He goes, I'm gonna roll all over you. And he goes, well, who are they gonna believe? A 2-bit thug or a criminal?
Yes.
Or are they gonna believe the number 3 box office person in America?
Yeah, it's so funny. That line is just so cheesy.
I love that song because it's like nobody's gonna believe you.
Yep.
But I like that. So we got Valentine's like now starting to doubt it.
Yeah, doubt it. He's like, what? You're a Nazi, yeah.
Yeah, and then he's like, let the girl go. And of course, Devil yells some crap in German.
Yeah, in German, and then like all these people sort of like, were they hiding there the whole time?
Yeah.
Like...
all those soldiers must have came off the Zeppelin somewhere.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, the Zeppelin probably brought them all over because the Zeppelin Zeppelin's traveling across the United States. Plus, you don't have radar yet.
No.
Well, there is radar, but it's very weak.
And it flies quiet, right? It's a
blimp. It flies quiet, and it can fly higher than an airplane.
Yeah, because it's a blimp, basically.
Yeah. It's an airship. Yeah, the airships, even at that time, there's not an airplane that can reach its altitude.
Wow, because
that's why hydrogen. Because you got to remember, they actually traveled. They actually use Zeppelins to travel because, the Empire State Building. You see that giant mast thing at the top of the Empire State Building? That's a Zeppelin mast.
Oh, okay.
The Zeppelins were originally supposed to dock to the top of the Empire State Building, and people get off and go into the Empire State Building. Oh my God!
I put that connection now.
Yeah, and I don't know if they ever did actually use it. If they did, they used it once. Because then the Hindenburg traveled with people. Because remember Indiana Jones, the Last Crusade. Remember they all get on the Zeppelin and fly out of the airport with it.
Oh.
Remember? That's what you do. You travel to. you travel by Zeppelin because see, airplanes weren't reliable enough yet to fly across the ocean.
Speaking of the Empire State Building, you probably love that building.
Oh, I bet you I
It
would. I
takes like
love anything.
it takes
I
like
love
4 or 5
anything.
elevators just to get to the top.
Well, I like anything that's 1930s
Oh yeah, once
style.
you walk in this building, you feel like I'm underdressed for this.
Yeah, I would. I'd go to New York to see a lot of the buildings. There's, I
Yeah,
mean, there's a lot of 1930s style
it's
stuff
really
there.
cool.
But we see the Zeppelin, and of course, all the Nazis come out.
Well, all the FBI guys come out too, and then they
Yeah,
hear
well, yeah, the
gunfire.
Nazis first.
Yeah.
Of course, they're going to take the jetpack, and of course, the FBI pops up
Yep.
with their spotlights. And then you see that giant Zeppelin fly over the
Yeah, you
top
saw
of
a
the
giant
building.
Zeppelin fly over, right? And then that's when the FBI was working with the mafia or the gangsters.
Yeah,
to
it's really
shoot
funny. They're
Nazis.
shooting. Yeah, they're doing the machine guns, and they look at each other, and they just keep on fighting.
Yeah,
But I'm like,
they
hey,
did the scene with Paul Sorvino. It has to be him looking at the FBI guy. Like, okay, we're
yeah,
shooting
it's like,
at the
oh, okay.
same
Well,
people, so okay.
but hey, I mean, they're fighting Nazis, so
They're very Nazis.
I mean, come on, it's America. You
That's
always
right.
drop your problems to fight the Nazis,
To fight the Nazis. Yeah, I know it's American, okay?
or you're supposed to. I mean,
Oh.
things have changed in America lately, but
Yes.
used to you drop what you're doing to fight the Nazis. I mean, Captain America wants you to. I want you to.
Yes.
Uncle Sam wants you to. But yeah, I like it. So they grab the girl and take her up to the Zeppelin.
Yep.
And of course, the FBI is like, "Ah, we lost them."
Yeah.
And of course, you see that scene where the Rocketeer gets up there with the German Pitzel, the Luger,
Yeah.
gets up there on top of the next to the American flag.
Yes. Very patriotic.
You gotta have that shot. That's a very good shot in a
Yes.
way. And he takes off and he goes to the Zeppelin.
He does, right? It's and then it feels like everybody go home at that point.
I guess everybody on the ground probably does. Well, none of the Nazis made it back to the Zeppelin
Yes.
because they're not going to land now. They're just going to keep flying.
And then you have that crazy German supervisor guy that just yells all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you have another Indiana Jones film in a way because remember you got that German supervisor with the glasses.
Yes. I thought about that right away too when I saw this guy. And I was like, what the heck?
Like, I want to see that guy's hand. Does he have the that little raw symbol thing in his hand?
But he's not even a major character because he shoots him anyway.
Yeah, I know. I like it.
You know what's really funny in that scene? Like in that, once they were in that, like I guess what did they call it, the bridge or the control center?
Yeah, let's call it the bridge.
So everybody flies out of the window. That's how they get away. Like, well, how do we get this guy out of the scene? Forget it. Just push him out the window.
Yeah. Well, you know,
it just a
snowball
snowball
effect. Yeah, it starts off with we had the best pilot or captain there he is. Of course, Lothar flies through and knocks him out the window. And then that guy starts complaining, so he shoots him, and he goes for the motherland. And of course, that commander guy's like, okay. And then, of course, you know, they do explain though, because did you ever think about why they take Jenny?
So that way he would come to her.
Yeah, because
he
explains it. Yeah, he explains it, and it's kind of obvious. But I remember thinking for a little bit, like, why would you take her?
Oh, because to trade for the jetpack. I knew he was going to go after her.
Yeah,
totally.
Well, of course he would.
It's Tony Stark and Pepper.
I don't even know why I thought about it for a second. I was like, why would I even think about that? I should know. Of course, you know, he gets there, and they give the jetpack. They hand the jetpack over.
Yep.
And then, of course, he pulls the gum off. He's like, that's funny. Like, hey, why don't you stay and help us put out the fire?
Yeah, like why would he say that line? Like, why would you make yourself useful? And he just flies up, and he blows up anyway.
Yeah, he blows up, and he falls on the Hollywood land sign.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna point that out to like Hollywood land, like that's all. They just left it and just leave it as Hollywood.
But it's true. There was a Hollywood land.
Yeah.
But and I guess that's how it really happened.
Yeah.
That's how it happened in the movie.
Nazi fell on it, you know.
Yeah, a Nazi fell on it. I mean, even though somebody else says that they removed the land later on, but hey,
Hollywood
what do they
land.
know?
Yes.
I mean, the FBI covered up. Shield covered it up.
Yeah, Shield covered it up. You can't tell people the Nazi fell on our land. Like, there's no Nazis in America, okay? Not back then.
Yeah, there's no Nazis in America. There was not an airship crash. And of course, you know, they get up on top of the airship, and they're running away. And here comes Lothar again.
Yes.
And Mary pulls out that little pocket knife.
Yeah, he picks out a pocket knife, right? And then everything is exploding behind him.
Yeah, and then he runs right past them. Runs right past them. And then it's like his little belt thing holds him, and they run past him.
Yeah, because like I was like, he's still tied to the the zeppelin. Like, where's he going?
Yeah, no. And then of course here comes Howard Hughes and Peavy in the
In the plane,
helicopter
yeah.
airplane.
Yep.
Which I don't remember who built that airplane in real life. It's not a Howard Hughes aircraft.
Oh, it's not?
I think it's a German aircraft.
Oh.
I mean, they put it in the movie. I don't understand what's in the movie. I'm really sure that's not a.
Well, I was thinking like if like the German spies came and try to steal our stuff, I would expect the same thing, vice versa.
Yeah.
We stole some of that
stuff. Have some awesome airplanes, but the helicopter airplane. I mean, they had helicopters, kind of.
Yep.
Not very well, not very good. Because I mean, Howard Hughes actually does make helicopters.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, Howard Hughes eventually did do the helicopters. I mean,
yeah.
They eventually became another company's property, but yeah, Hughes actually did most helicopters, Apache helicopters eventually, and all that. But anyhow, they saved the guys. Yeah.
Yep. With the ladder. Yep.
Yep, save them with the ladder, and they fly away. And then what's the next scene? We see them in the diner.
We see them in the diner. Yeah. They
Yeah, I like. And here's what I've seen. I like it. It's like where Peavy's reading the newspaper.
Yes.
And I like the way he says it in his voice. He says it. Oh, look at here. Neville Sinclair died yesterday when burning debris fell in his touring car because that was a nice car.
It's so corny.
I know, just the way he says it. He's like, oh, like he really cares.
I like that because right after you said like, yeah, they totally covered it up.
Yeah,
like, they don't want to say it's Nazi. Yeah, it's Nazi spy.
Yeah, it was S.H.I.E.L.D. And that's the formation of S.H.I.E.L.D. Because I mean, this is a Disney movie, so they can do what they want.
Oh.
Even though the Rocketeer is a whole different property.
Yeah, it's a whole different property. It's not part of the MCU.
But hey, it could be MCU. I mean, it's changed comic book companies constantly.
Oh yeah, things like that. Yeah.
Marvel can make them a good deal.
Isn't Men in Black Marvel now too? Or has it always been Marvel? I don't think so. Oh, okay.
I didn't know it was ever Marvel.
Hold on, let me see. I thought they bought it.
Nah, because Sony's doing Men in Black.
Let me see.
Is it a Marvel? I don't think it's Marvel.
I don't think it's Marvel. You're right. Malibu.
Nah.
Oh, subsequently owned by Marvel Comics.
Oh, but it's not owned by them.
No.
Men in Black is owned by the creator.
Yeah.
It's not a Marvel-owned property.
It's not owned Marvel.
They could print it. It's like Star Wars. They print a lot of Star Wars, but they don't own Star Wars.
Yeah, they own Star Wars.
Disney owns
Fox.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, they own it now. Star Wars owns it, but I mean, they still don't really. It's not really a Marvel property.
Yep. But since planes so much, the plane that Howard Hughes fly at the end, was it his plane?
Oh,
that's not his. Cliff.
Yeah, he just gave him another GB racer. That's not a Howard Hughes plane.
Oh, okay.
Howard Hughes never flew one of those planes. Howard Hughes wouldn't. I don't think Howard Hughes would fly one of those planes. I mean, he's all about having a really good plane that does its job. Those GB racers, they're so short that the handling is really bad on them. Oh. Pilots get killed in those things all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, but the neat thing is a pilot that set a record in one of those planes. I forgot what his name was. If I would have thought about it, I would have told you his name. Doolittle. His name is Doolittle.
What kind of record?
He said, a speed record. He set a speed record for one of those airplanes. Howard Hughes set a lot of speed records in his own airplanes too, cross countries and stuff. But there was a guy that set that, and his name is Doolittle. But I'm just pointing this out because Pearl Harbor. Remember the movie Pearl Harbor? Alec Baldwin plays Doolittle.
Oh.
He's the character. He would be the guy that set a record in that type of airplane.
Oh, okay.
But anyhow, we go back to that airplane. It's the neat thing about the airplane, because Howard Hughes flies that plane up, and then he gives him that stick of gum. Which I want to go to World Market. I wish we had a World Market here so I can go get that gum. Because I just wanted that gum to sit on my shelf now.
Is it the World Market in Plano?
Any World Market has it. They used to have it up there by the registers. I mean, it's been a long time ago. When I lived there, we used to hang out. I'd go there to the World Market, and I remember they always had them setting up there near the counter. I always thought about buying a stick up, a little package of them. I never did. Beeman's gum.
Yeah.
I wish I could. I really want to get one now. But anyhow, he gives them that gum, and then they peel off that label.
Yes.
Well, of course, he asks them about the rocket pack. I like
the rocket pack, yep.
Because he flew his own rocket pack. But he wants to because Howard Hughes wants to fly his own planes. all the time.
Yep.
Even when he made an experimental plane, that's why he got injured. You know,
Yeah.
he flies on planes. But I like it because what did it feel like? Closest thing to heaven.
Yeah, cause
And of course, he looks at Jenny and goes, yeah, almost.
yeah, almost like second closest thing. Yep.
Yeah, and I like it. So he walks off, gets in his car, which is I don't remember what kind of car it is, but the thing about Howard Hughes, he's real picky about his cars.
Oh yeah, because he's
he's paranoid. He was actually paranoid,
yeah.
like I told you about when we saw Iron Man 2. You know how Iron Man doesn't want to touch anything.
Yeah.
Howard Hughes is a germaphobe.
Germaphobe, yeah, I remember.
His mom was. So he has air filtration systems in all of his cars. He keeps his cars very clean because he don't want to get germs in them. Even men, I think. But he gets into his nice car, and of course they peel off the deal. So Cliff just realizes that's his airplane.
Yes.
And of course Howard Hughes is like, no money lost on this deal.
Yeah, he just left.
Yeah. I like it. And of course, then Jenny pulls out the blueprints that she stored.
Yes, just PV has, yes.
That she stored in her secret area.
Yeah. Yes, she stole them from Neville.
Yeah, she stole from Neville, which is awesome. And of course, Pee-wee starts talking about how to make it better.
Yes.
Which is funny because everything he's talking about is like a car engine.
So I thought, like, with that scene, right, it's like opening the door to the sequel.
Yes, it's open, and there was supposed to be. They planned to make 2 more.
Yes.
Movies.
So I learned that from that Australian guy.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah. That's probably where I heard it. Then.
Yeah.
That's probably where I heard it.
There's
Yeah.
supposed to be a trilogy.
But I think I also read it too.
Oh yeah, because there's supposed to be a trilogy, but they didn't go through it because it didn't do so great at the box office.
Yes, it didn't do very great at all. And I never saw this at there. I never actually heard about it. I think I watched this at my cousin's house.
Oh, the Rocketeer?
Yeah, I think he probably had it on videotape or something.
It's got to be videotape, man.
Or it was either that or I watched it on HBO.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I saw it way back then, but I didn't see it when it was there. I never even heard of it. Huh. And my cousin's like, hey, you probably want to watch this. And I watched it and I was like, man, this is awesome.
Yep.
It's like one of the greatest movies I saw back then. Well, because he had his jetpack and I always wanted one. And I was like, this guy's got a jetpack. This guy's my hero.
You're right. Because we talk about this in Mandalorian Season 2. As soon as I saw the jetpack, right, dude, I was so hyped.
Yeah, I know.
No, Season 1. It was the first season. Like, at the end of Season 1, he got the jetpack. I was so excited.
How could you not want a jetpack? Because even when the guys because everybody flying with a jetpack. I was like, because even like it's like a Tomorrowland. They could build, that little kid builds a jetpack.
I've never seen Tomorrowland, the one with George Clooney.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say, whoa, this is a great movie. It could have been better. Because, I mean, you watch the trailer, I was like, oh, this is going to be such a good movie. Because they even made little cartoons for it.
Yeah, they do.
It was like, before it was released, it seemed like such a big deal. Then I saw the movie. It was a little bit disappointing.
Oh.
But the visuals and the ideas, and plus I've been to Disneyland. I love Disneyland. I love Disney. It's like you're a kid again, in a way.
Yes.
I mean, in a way, the movie's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of missing some spots, you know, because every George Clooney movie, there's like really lots of slow moments where nothing's happening, you know? It's like, hey, let's just film George sitting there eating a sandwich.
I think there's only, like, of all the George Clooney movie I watch, right, I only like 2 of them, which is Ocean's 11 and Gravity.
Okay, I've never seen Gravity. The only one I like of his is I like Tomorrowland, and I like the man who is it the man who talked to goats or?
Oh, I had never seen that.
Oh, that's such a good movie. Huh. They actually things are finally different in that movie. It's not slow. It's just nuts. Huh. And of course, George Clooney thinks he's a Jedi.
That sounds awesome already.
Oh, it's an awesome movie because they give the army soldiers hallucinogens, and Ewan McGregor is a reporter.
Whoa!
And that's why they make the Jedi deal because he goes, "Yeah, I'm a Jedi." Ewan McGregor's like, "What's a Jedi?" What's a Jedi? I love that movie. That movie is pretty fun.
Cool. So that's conclusive
for us.
Rocketeer.
That was the Rocketeer.
Okay, so stay back.
You finally saw it.
I finally saw it.
Too bad, like, more people don't know about it. It could have been a hit.
Yeah, I know. It just.
But the thing is, the Rocketeer is based on a lot of stuff because it was a graphic novel, but it's actually based on a TV series Sony owned. Well, it's not Sony. It would have been Columbia Pictures way back then. It's called I think it was called. I can't remember what it was called, but it's Captain Cody and the Rocket Man.
Oh yeah, I read about. No, that's why I
Yeah,
saw
I
from
have them.
too.
I
Yeah.
actually have them. I have all those serials. I have all the serials.
Really?
I've watched all of them. It's kind of neat. He's got this, but his helmet looks like a missile. It's like a missile. It looks
Yeah,
like a bullet.
I
He
saw
puts
that
it over his
too.
head. It's got the little eyes, and it's got this little control box like Darth Vader on his chest. That's where they got Darth Vader. Because it's older Darth Vader. It's 1930s. It's neat. I actually like it. I guess in one of the shows I saw something about Fights the Moon Men.
Yeah.
But there's a Nintendo game based on this.
Really?
I never got to play it. I found it. I don't know if it was for the American system or the Famicom system.
Okay.
But I remember I used to get a game magazine, and it had it in the back, and it told about it. And you'd fly, you'd be like, show the back of your gun, and you'd fly on the rocket, and then you land in the jungle, and you do other stuff. We need to find this.
Okay. I know there's a
can't remember the
Rocketeer
name.
game for Nintendo because watch it from Nintendo.
There is a Rocketeer. There's a Rocketeer game on Nintendo, but before the Rocketeer came out, and they put that game out, there was another Rocket Jetpack Man game on Nintendo. And it's like not that long after, and it's still a good game because it's not a side scroller really.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember who makes it, but it was a better looking game, so it must have come out of Japan.
Okay.
So.
Huh. Well, let me.
That's all I got to say about.
Yeah,
Rocketeer.
let me end the show right here, and I'll get back to you.
Cool.
Thank you for watching this segment of our reviews. I hope you had a great time listening to us. Be sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one. Laters.